Hey, welcome back to Positive English Journey, where we learn English and grow as people, one episode at a time. I'm Emma, and Daniel is right here with me. Today, we're talking about one of the hardest moments in a conversation, the moment you don't know what to say. We've all been there. And by the end of today, you're going to feel different about it.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever been speaking English and suddenly your mind goes completely blank? You open your mouth and nothing. The other person is waiting. Your face is hot. You want to disappear. If that has happened to you, even once, I want you to listen carefully today, because what you do in that moment isn't a sign of bad English. It's a sign that you're human. I remember the first job interview I had in English. The interviewer asked me a simple question. Tell me about a time you solved a problem. And I just froze completely. My mind went blank. I knew the words. I had practiced. But in that moment, every word in my head disappeared. I sat there for what felt like a year, probably 4 seconds. And the silence was so awkward, I wanted to walk out of the room. I didn't get that job, but that moment taught me something. Silence wasn't my enemy. The fear of silence was.
Okay, so Daniel, when you say froze, what does that actually feel like? Because I think people listening know the feeling, but they don't have the words for it.
It's like your body is in the room, but your brain has left. You hear the question, you understand the question, but somehow the words to answer it, gone.
Yes, and the worst part is the silence. The other person is looking at you, and every second feels like a minute.
Exactly. And in that silence, your brain starts working against you. You think, they must think I'm stupid. They must think my English is bad. So now you have 2 problems. You don't know what to say, and you're panicking about not knowing what to say.
That's so true. So tell me, when you freeze like that in real life, what comes out of your mouth?
Honestly, for a long time, nothing. That was the problem. I would just stand there. But then a friend taught me something simple. She said, Daniel, when you don't know what to say, just say that out loud.
Wait, I don't know what to say.
Almost. She told me to say 1 sentence. Let me think about that for a moment. Just that. And it changed everything for me.
Why did it change everything?
Because the silence wasn't the problem anymore. The silence had a reason now. Let me think about that for a moment. That's a complete sentence. It tells the other person, I heard you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just thinking. And suddenly, the silence is okay.
That's such a small thing, but it's huge. Because in my head, when I'm stuck, I'm trying to find the perfect answer. I'm searching, and the longer I search, the more panic I feel. But let me think about that for a moment. It gives me permission to stop searching, just for a second.
Yes, and here's something I didn't believe at first. Native speakers do this all the time, every day. They say, let me think about that, or that's a good question, or give me a second, not because their English is bad, but because thinking takes time, even in your first language.
That blew my mind when I learned it. I thought fluent people just always had the answer ready.
They don't. They just have rescue phrases ready.
Rescue phrases. I love that. Okay, give me another one. What if I can't catch what someone said? Like, the words just went past my ears and I didn't understand.
That's a really common one. You can just say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? That's it. No shame. No big deal. I didn't catch that.
And the beautiful thing is, when you ask people to repeat, they almost always say it more slowly. They want to help you.
Yes, people are kinder than we think they are.
And what about when you do know the word, but it just won't come out? You know that feeling? The word is right there, but your mouth can't find it.
Oh, that one. We have an idiom for it in English. It's on the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue. You can almost taste the word, but you can't say it.
That happens to me in my first language sometimes. I'll be telling a story and I just lose the word. Native speakers freeze too.
And what do they say? They say, "Hold on, it's on the tip of my tongue." They laugh about it. They keep going.
Okay, I want to ask you something. If someone listening right now is afraid to speak English because they're scared of this exact moment, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, the moment you stop running from silence in a conversation, that's the moment you actually start speaking. Because before that, you're not having a conversation, you're trying to perform one.
That's beautiful, Daniel.
I mean it. The silence is part of speaking, not a hole in the speaking, part of it.
Okay, so let's give people one more phrase. What about when you completely lose your idea? You started a sentence and now you don't remember where you were going?
This one I use constantly. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought.
A train of thought. I love that image. Your thoughts are a train, and sometimes the train goes off the tracks.
Yes, and it's totally fine to just say it out loud. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Then you take a breath. Then you start again.
I want to say something to whoever is listening right now. If you've been silent in English because you were scared of being silent, please hear this. The people you're talking to don't notice your silence as much as you think they do. They're thinking about themselves, mostly. We all are.
And here's another small one. If someone asks you a question and your mind goes blank, you can just turn it back. What about you? What do you think? 2 seconds. The other person starts talking. You get a moment to breathe.
I do that all the time. It's not a trick. It's a real question. You're curious. You're keeping the conversation alive.
That's the thing. People think these phrases are cheating. They're not cheating. They're how conversations actually work.
Can I tell you about one of my worst freeze moments? It still makes me cringe.
Please.
I was at a coffee shop maybe 2 years ago. The person behind the counter was so kind. She asked me, "How is your day going?" Simple question, 5 words, and my brain just went somewhere else. I stood there holding my coffee, saying nothing.
How long?
Probably 3 seconds, but it felt like a minute. And the worst part, I knew the answer. I had a good day. I just couldn't make my mouth say the words. Finally, I said, "Good. You?" Just 2 words. And I walked away feeling so embarrassed.
But here's the question. Did she think badly of you?
Honestly, probably not. She probably forgot about it 5 seconds later. The only person who remembered that moment was me for months.
That's the thing about freeze moments. We replay them in our head 100 times. The other person, they moved on before we even left the room.
I think that's something every listener needs to hear. The conversation that haunts you tonight, the other person already forgot about it. They're not thinking about your English. They're thinking about their own day.
And if anything, when you fight through a freeze and keep going, they respect you for it. They don't see weakness. They see someone who is trying.
Yes, trying is the whole thing. Trying is fluency in slow motion.
Oh, I like that. Fluency in slow motion.
I just thought of it.
Write it down.
Okay, back to where I was going before my own story took over. When I first started speaking English with people, I thought a good conversation meant I never paused. I thought fluent people just talked and never stopped. And every time I paused, I felt like I was failing.
And now,
Now I think a good conversation has pauses in it. The pauses are where the real thinking happens. The pauses are where I actually become me, not a performance of me, just me.
that's the lesson, isn't it?
I think so.
Silence isn't the failure of the conversation. It's the part where you become yourself.
Wow, say that one more time.
Silence isn't the failure of the conversation, it's the part where you become yourself.
That's what I want listeners to take with them today. The next time you freeze, the next time your mind goes blank, the next time you can't follow what someone is saying, or you can't catch a word, don't run from the silence. Let it sit there. Say one of the phrases we talked about and keep going. You're not failing. You're learning to be present.
And being present is what makes someone interesting to talk to. Not perfect English, not fancy vocabulary, just being there.
Okay, before we move to the vocab review, if you've ever frozen in a conversation and it felt awkward and you wanted to disappear, please tell us in the comments. We've all done it. You're not alone. Okay, here are 5 words from today's conversation. Let's review them together. Number 1, freeze. To freeze means your body or your mind suddenly stops. When you freeze in a conversation, you can't speak, even though you want to. We said it earlier. I froze in the interview. Can you remember a time you froze when speaking English? Write it below.
Number 2, blank. When your mind goes blank, you can't think of anything. Every thought disappears. We said it earlier. My mind went blank. When was the last time your mind went blank in English? Tell us in the comments.
Number 3, catch. To catch means to hear and understand what someone said. We said it earlier. Sorry, I didn't catch that. If there was a word in this episode you didn't catch, write it below. We'll help.
Number 4, follow. To follow a conversation means to understand it as it happens. We said it earlier. You can't follow what someone is saying. Is there an accent or a speaker who is hard for you to follow? Tell us in the comments.
Number 5, awkward. Awkward means uncomfortable or strange, a moment that feels heavy or wrong. We said it earlier. The silence was so awkward I wanted to walk out. What's the most awkward moment you've had speaking English? We won't laugh. We promise.
Here's what I want you to remember. The silence in a conversation isn't your weakness. It's where the real you lives. When you stop running from it, you start to actually speak, not perform.
And here's our question for you today. What is one rescue phrase from today that you're going to try this week? Write it below. We read every comment.
If today's episode helped you, please subscribe to Positive English Journey. 2 new episodes every week. English and life lessons together.
See you in the next one.